All right, I thought I would make a little video. The Asus Chromebook is having a little trouble, so that's why I haven't been doing DJ sets. It's been having a little trouble with its audio outlets, USB port and such like. So I'll be doing some more DJing, but I'll probably just be releasing them as MP3s, so they'll probably be superior in sound quality. I'm making this post because of my recent reading of H.A. Hayek, F.A. Hayek, emptying about 4 of a 6-pack over some pizza and listening to these fucking socialist debates, Sargon of Akkad. This guy Badmouse, Xexizy, and some guy called the Finnish Bolshevik. These are obviously physically weak men. For one, definitely Xexizy is obviously an underdeveloped, physically weak man. But the others come across as similar. Bad Mouse I've encountered before. He's just total fucking garbage. These are people who will constantly deny. They're the kind of people who forensic says Mike Brown did this. Crazy Negro says Mike Brown did this. Witnesses that don't want to be identified because of crazy Negroes in the neighborhood who want to shoot police say that the forensics are correct. So what do the socialists do? They riot because science and the captive people in the neighborhood, captive because of the poorly socialized young men in these neighborhoods who are poorly socialized because of culture, that it doesn't matter what forensics says. It doesn't matter what these people say. There's a crazy ass Negro who says otherwise. There's people who are willing to burn down your house or destroy the whole city. They want to kill police. And they want to deal crack and beat up Pakistani store owners for blunts. So, you have to understand that. This is what all these people really are about. All the socialists, all of the progressives, all these people, generally, these people call themselves liberals, but are really leftists. They're not classical liberals, that the law is the law. No, you see, when there are obviously untested rape kits in mostly democratic cities with huge black populations, it's not that maybe the city council has a little bit of a problem with the black people rioting when their poorly socialized males are thrown in jail for raping white college student girls. No, it's white fraternity guys. It's the Republicans. See, the Christians, the reason why they're Christian is they have secretly deep fetishes and they want to rape and pillage. This is entirely out of the school of Marcuse. Oh, you love your wife, so that means you want to rape all other women. See, that's the thinking of the Frankfurt School and gender weirdos and the feminists and these weak ass men who are in tofu and seitan. Oh, no, you see, you have sexual morals because you're a sexual deviant in some critical way. You would just rape them all if you didn't have Jesus to hold you back. Well, no, it's they would rape them all if those of us who didn't support the rule of law would stop them. That's my contention. That a lot of these women would kill their neighbors. They would gladly kill the children of their neighbors if they just had their socialist revolution. It would be like reports of the French Revolution, where women were slipping around on the blood in the streets, bashing the wealthy children's kids to death on the cobblestones. That's the left. Those are the socialists. Those are the people they are. That's who they are. inside. You just have to release them from that. See, if you just let them discover their inner self, like all the occultist shit. See, because the idea that there was really a penultimate reasonable person who then explained to people, you should be reasonable. You should actually explain why what you're doing is right. No, no, no. That's that's too Christian. What you need is more of this. If you can get enough friends and they can kill and rape a village full of Jews like Medina, then you're a prophet. And that's called Islam. So people need to fucking get this about collectivists. It doesn't matter if you want to call yourself a socialist, a communist, an anarcho-syndicalist. You're a collectivist. You want to put people in a box. And those people then have a duty according to you. You see, say something like the Sanatana Dharma. They call it, some people will poorly refer to the language and say this means eternal religion. No, 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 no. Dharma is rooted in dirte. And dirte becomes duty in the West. It becomes dharma in the East. And so that's the thing. It's the eternal duty. Why is it duty? Because there are natural laws that befall upon people, and that to balance the scales between the law and, let's see if I could pull a Buddhist thing here, the law and the earth, to set the wheel of law in motion, you need a set of morals, such as Buddhism, where it has a set of morals. And some of you might want to, take it, oh, you shouldn't harm cows and never eat them and this and that. And you see, you capitalists. But you see, you're just overshooting it. You're already trying to lump people in because of their diet. You would like to collectivize them. Oh, you eat meat, so therefore you are less moral. It's not that you actually have to rationally argue that out. Right? Growing veggies for only a vegetarian diet produces an ethical world, correct? You've argued that point out well. So well that people have turned away from it. Like, say, in the Western world, people have turned away from rape as a method of reproduction. What are you? Is this troubling? Because people can't reproduce from rape. Oh, no, they can, can't they? So it's not like it's against some form of natural law. It's against something that applies to the world. Once you set certain laws in motion, they only matter to humans. They don't matter to the cows. They don't matter to the birds. The birds will literally bite their own to death. Study crows at some point. That's why the Corax is such an important part of the Western tradition. If you don't know that, it's because you don't know anything about Rome. You don't know anything about Greece. You don't know anything about Britain. You don't know about Western civilization because you're a savage. And you're probably on the left, and you're probably a socialist, and you probably are garbage. And you know you would be thrown out in the fucking sea unless there was a mommy state looking out for you, because you're special. You can draw pictures. You're special. You want to give things to people who haven't earned them. That makes you so special. You will do anything that a vagina barks at you. Weak motherfuckers. You can't deal with costs. You won't deal with prices. You can't handle that maybe your labor is worth nothing. That you can't shovel your own grave. This definitely applies to Xexizy. Look at those fucking arms. Look at that fucking kid's neck. Oh, that's just embarrassing. This is embarrassing. I feel so bad for some white people when kids like that are on the internet and you're like, no, dude, fuck, he's not my club. Because it happens with us black people. There's so many motherfuckers who I'm like, no, he's not in the club. He's one of the niggas. We watch out for cats like that. He will kill people like me because I have a job and I have money in my pocket. That guy is not one of me. And this is the whole issue with collectives. It's about individuals. I earn my money. I should be able to say what I do with it. Do I want to give it to welfare moms? Maybe I do on Tuesday. Maybe I don't on Friday. That could be done. It's called Patreon, motherfuckers. It's called PayPal, bitch. I could do with my money what I want. But these weak motherfuckers keep arguing that, oh, socialism, oh, in China and Russia's GDP and blah, 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 and it's the Soviet Union. I got this on communistbullshit.com, .org, actually .org, because you see a .org then isn't a tax, you don't have to tax a .org. See, a .org site isn't a business. So these people could publish all the bullshit they want on a .org because they'll never, nobody will disinvest in them. They could write off their losses when it's a .org. Why? Because of the free market. The free market understands if you tax nonprofit organizations, you might destabilize society. In fact, you might ruin charity. Because charity, chesed in Hebrew, is literally where we get the tradition of charitable organizations. It's entirely something Christian and to some degree Jewish in origin in the Western tradition. You have the Odd Fellows, the Freemasons, Rotary, Boy Scouts. Those are just some off the top. Then you get Christian physical culture, where you get the YMCA, where, I mean, literally that was like lodging that was underpriced, artificially underpriced. And so, yeah, boom, let's just start there. Let's not even go into Catholic and Protestant charities directly linked to their churches and communities, which are directly linked to their churches and communities up until pretty much living memory. It disgusts me how socialists and communists can get away with this. And this is the thing that really gets me. Some of these fuckers will then cite things like, oh, look at Chile. Chile is blah, 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 and oh, and da, 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 da. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, Chile is a diverse country where people who are ethnic minorities there have thrived. In fact, the socialists don't like the ethnic minority Japanese historically. That's actually the real story. If you look up what these people say, what their newspapers said, what the op-eds said, Chilean natives who are more prone to being into the socialist parties resented the Chinese and the Japanese because the Chinese and Japanese worked hard. Chile imported immigrants from Europe, Japan, and China because of their level of development. They opened up immigration from those countries, specifically because the skill sets of those people. All of South America has thrived only on the actual lowering of bars to immigration. And then actively saying, because you people can build things, we want you to come here. Now, once they got there, was the economy centrally planned? Universally? No! Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Peru, all of them just let people work. They just let people fucking work. It wasn't until the socialists started to fuck shit up, with the help, often, of the CIA, to destabilize the country so that then they could set people in, because now there's wealth. People have produced wealth. Now America can put their CIA people in to exploit the country. That's the 1950s and 1960s. Where did those people come from who exploited these countries, who ruined their stability as free market nations? Where did they come from? They came from recruits from the National Socialist Workers' Party of Germany. Those National Socialists were brought into the CIA, and those are the jackals of the State Department who try to get central management of the economy under a dictator or under some socialist bumpkins who are useless dummies most of the time, so you could just steal money. And then you let the country totally fucking collapse and go through the process again. Because there's only one group of people who are truly awful people, and those are socialists. They're actually always the dumbest, the least informed, the most purposefully ignorant of what their opponents think. Always. How do I know this? Because I was one. I just looked into what my opponent said, and I realized my life had been a lie. I had believed so much that not just wasn't true, but could never even be proven so. Would've, could've, and should've. The three patriarchal saints of socialism. And that these socialist dogs, these communist pieces of shit, these collectivist garbage-ass motherfuckers, they keep bringing these kinds of principles up. Oh, but should've, would've, and could've, and if America would have done this, if you see China could have done that, Deng Xiaoping should have. Yeah, well, none of that happened. You all have failed. Collectivists have failed. What this is about is individualists, and really, what collectivists come down to. This is period. They are slaves. They have slave genes. They have the genes of the most worthless people in any economy, the most skillless. People who are so worthless, you don't even give them money. People might be like, but you're black. And it's like, yeah, well, you're racist. Because black people couldn't produce enough wealth to get paid for it. Hence a thing called jazz artists. Hence a place called Harlem. Like, blacks can't organize anything. Have you never... I love how people like the Moorish Science Temple and 5%ers are the best at collectivist bullshittery in this regard. No, capitalism is one of the best things that's... capitalism is a slur. It's called individualism. Free enterprise. That's what it's really called. It's called being able to buy what you want. It's called being able to do with your money what you wish. All of the rest of it is collectivist, and they must always lie. They must always change the language. It doesn't mean they change the words. It means they change the meaning of the words. They remember, black people can't be racist anymore, according to the collectivists. Whether it's BLM or the social justice warriors, the white liberals, Baizuo, as the Chinese say, white left. Democratic Party with all their Barack Obama era we statements implying that there's a they. Who's they? Well, anybody who doesn't agree with Barack Obama. Fuck you, socialists. You're garbage. We know you're garbage. We know you're inferior. We know you can't shovel your own graves. That's why you will always lie until you have to force people to shovel your shit. And the problem that you have now is, see, individualism, free enterprise means the smartest people at some point will figure out, oh, I could make money being smart. I actually could do this totally on my own. The internet gives ample opportunity for that. It's the collectivists. They're the ones who are, oh, millions of people are going poor in America. They're poor. They only have one car. They only have one cell phone in their household. They only have one laptop. This laptop, I think, cost me maybe about $220 after shipping. Let me just go there. I haven't bought a pair of shoes for more than $40 after shipping in years. Sorry. This man of color is living quite well under capitalism. And badmouths, Xexizy, Finnish Bolshevik, you're all garbage people who can't compete. You can't compete against me. You know that. You know you can't compete against me in the market. I'll get the order to the table faster, more efficiently, and with a smile on my face because I don't have a bad attitude about it. People want food, and I want to serve them food because I like seeing families smile. I like knowing when people say, this tastes good. And I'm like, even if I didn't make that, thank you. I'll pass that on to my coworker because they take some bit of pride in the fact that they spent so much time doing the work they did. That actually means something. Not only did you show it by tipping us, but then you made sure to say, I like this. I like what you did. That exists in capitalism. That exists in the free market, where people give you a little bit more. See, there's no tip in socialism. There's no tipping in communism. I mean, I guess there is a tipping, but it's a city somewhere up north, some Mandarin town.